Dear colleagues, welcome to this ALBA Network talk that is part of the activity organized at the ALBA Network at Mest. In this short talk, I will present some data on leadership behavior more often observed in women than in men, such as community leadership and team building, and try to convince you that these qualities must be encouraged as much as diversity in leading teams to increase the performance of research groups or institutes. So, the fact is that women more than men view leadership as an opportunity to grow their subordinates, and the challenge is to recognize the value of this kind of behavior and therefore valorize it in the career progression. But we will first go through some facts about people and how people are looking at women leadership. When people, men and women, think about leadership, they think about men, and more particularly about white men. This introduces an unconscious bias against underrepresented groups when one has to propose names, for example, for invited lectures or for leadership position opening. The decision of women leaders are more often discussed, probably due to the profound lack of women in charge. Here again, implicit biases generate benevolent sexism. Governing boards and colleagues are more likely to give advice to women than to men. There is plenty of research showing that men are more likely to trust their own judgment and be confident about their capability to lead, while women used to cultivate a diverse set of advisors. Their decisions rely more often on expert knowledge than on personal intuition. That does not mean that women are lacking in confidence, but it could be a behavioral adaptation to the fact that women are more often questioned or blamed in case of unpopular or ineffective decisions. Most people agree on the fact that women are more other-directed and emotionally intelligent and therefore expect this kind of behavior from women leaders, while a more directive and confident behavior is often considered as aggressive. However, the recent crises show that women are as efficient as men to take decisions and drive action for the common welfare. In general, women take heed to the other people around and spend more time to coach other leaders. They are also more prone to define roles, clarify expectations, and reward achievement targets. They also, more often than men, offer a compelling vision of the future. It is why they excel when they negotiate on behalf of the general welfare, but struggle when they have to negotiate for themselves. Some studies show that women tend to use what is called the transformational leadership, aiming to enhance motivation of followers by working with them to identify needed change and by creating a shared vision of the future. So, coming back to the theme of this talk, community leadership, we can say that some behaviors are more often observed in women than in men, and that this behavior includes be a role model who inspires young colleagues, invest time in coaching and mentoring, and care about personal development of subordinates by listening to them, emphasize teamwork and communication. But are these qualities useful for the success of a research team in comparison to more classically seeked leaders' behavior, such as overconfidence, fast decision-making, and directive leadership? There are plenty of studies focusing on the role of leaders in the successful development of teams, institutes, and companies. These studies share common conclusions about leadership behavior and success. I just picked one of McKinsey & Company as an example. McKinsey developed a diagnostic tool to measure the organizational excellence of companies against 9 criteria. In the center of the slide, you have the direction that allows to align people on where we go and how to get there, the leadership team whose role is to inspire the action of others and to drive better performance, and the work environment in which people can interact and share values. On the right of the slide, you have the coordination useful to measure and evaluate performance, innovation, and motivation. And on the left, the accountability and responsibility of individuals for results, the external orientation taking care of the constant interaction with partners, and the capability to ensure talent and skill development to support the strategy. 9 leadership behaviors has been identified as improving organizational performance through these 9 criteria. We found, for example, starting from the upper left and following the drawn pathway, the clear definition of expectation and reward, the capacity to decide alone and engage others in execution, the attention towards people development through activities such as mentoring, teaching, and listening, the participative decision-making building a team in which everyone is encouraged to participate, the role model focusing on building respect and considering the ethical consequences of decisions, efficient communication, control and ability to drive corrective action to monitor individual performance, intellectual stimulation to encourage creativity, and finally, inspiration and presentation of a compelling vision of the future. And what is interesting is that 5 of these 9 criteria are supported by behavior more often encountered in women than in men. Indeed, as developed in the first part of the talk, the behaviors highlighted in red are more often encountered in women, while the behaviors in green are more classical male leadership behaviors, and those in black are equally shared. Of course, there are only goals and global trends, and this picture cannot define personal behaviors. The important thing is that all this kind of behavior must be present in a governing team to outperform. Moreover, a survey involving more than 1,000 of managers from a wide range of companies reveals that these various leadership behaviors are in short supply in today's corporations and will be critical in meeting the expected challenges we will face in the coming years. So, as a conclusion, these different behaviors must be encouraged in both men and women. That means that diversity must be increased actively. We need to counteract implicit biases in favor of the classical male leadership, and for this purpose, different behavior must be valorized in the career. The problem is that in the research small world, community leadership increases the efficiency of the team and the structure, but slows down the personal career. Indicators must therefore be reviewed to take this quality into account in the evaluation of excellence in research. Thank you for your attention. Please share your comments and advice on these topics on the ALBA Network community and join us at 11:30 for the live session. Bye.